If you've ever thought, I don't really need marketing, I just need more customers, or we're good at what we do, surely that should be enough. You are not alone. And you're not wrong for thinking that either. But this is where a lot of people quietly get stuck, because most businesses don't fail because they're bad at what they do. They struggle because people don't understand them quickly enough. And in a minute, I'll explain why that matters more than most people realize, because this is a very common sticking point. Hey, I'm Stephen, and I simplify marketing so that you can focus on growing your business without overcomplicating things. No hype, no jargon, just clarity. So let's start with the question this video is really about. Why do you actually need marketing? Not what should I post, not which platform should I use, but why marketing exists at all, and what actually breaks when it's missing. In this video, I'm going to show you why being good at what you do is no longer enough on its own, what marketing is actually responsible for and what it isn't, why sales can't fix this problem, and why things often feel busy but unstable without marketing. And just so that you know, this video sits alongside two others on the channel. One explains what marketing actually is, and the other explains how marketing and sales fit together. You don't need to watch them now, but I'll leave links in the description, and if you want to check them out later, then you know where they are. When someone asks you, do I really need marketing? What they're usually saying is, why isn't being good enough enough? And that's a very reasonable question, because in our heads, it feels logical. If you're good at what you do, if your product works, if your service delivers, people should find you and they should choose you. But that logic assumes something that no longer holds true. You see, most people are making decisions in crowded environments. Not hostile ones, not unfair ones, just crowded. People are choosing between lots of similar looking options with limited time, limited attention and very little patience. And they're usually doing it quietly. They're scrolling, skimming, comparing, often without telling anyone. Think about the last time you looked for a service online. You probably didn't open 10 tabs and analyze them all properly. You skimmed, you ruled out some instantly. A few just felt not for you, even if you couldn't explain why. And the truth is, that's how most decisions actually start. This is the first thing to understand. Being good at what you do doesn't automatically make you clear. And clarity matters more than most people realize. And if someone doesn't understand you quickly, they don't keep investigating. They move on. Not because you're bad, not because they're lazy, but because effort feels risky. Marketing exists because quality doesn't explain itself. This isn't a failure, it's a gap. Here's a really common version of this. Someone lands on a website, your website. The business is genuinely good, great service, stronger reputation, but the homepage says something like, we deliver bespoke solutions tailored to your needs. And technically, that's true. But it doesn't always answer the real question people are asking, which is this for someone like me? And can you help with my problem? So they don't dig deeper. Not because the business is bad, but because clarity didn't show up fast enough. This is where things often get muddled. Marketing is often talked about as social media, ads, website, emails. And those are part of marketing, but they come after something far more important. Marketing starts with thinking. Marketing is the set of decisions about who you're for, what problem you solve, what people need to understand, and what matters before they speak with you. The posts, ads, and campaigns are execution. They are how marketing shows up. And if the thinking isn't clear, the activity feels scattered. This is why people say, We're doing loads of marketing, Stephen. It just doesn't feel like it's working. Usually the issue isn't effort, it's direction. And once this distinction clicks, a lot of that frustration starts to make sense. So let's slow this right down. At its core, marketing does 3 very specific jobs. If it's not doing these, it doesn't matter how visible marketing looks. Because marketing helps someone understand what you do, who it's for, and whether it's relevant to them. Not eventually, but quickly. And this is why people say things like, I looked at their website, but I still wasn't sure what they actually did. And that's not a criticism, that's confusion. And confusion is usually where interest quietly ends. Marketing removes that confusion before a conversation happens. Most people don't avoid buying because they don't want things. They avoid buying because decisions feel risky. Marketing reduces that risk by setting expectations, answering unspoken questions, making things feel familiar. And this is why good marketing rarely feels pushy. It feels calm, reassuring, and calm marketing builds confidence. This one is subtle but powerful. People don't compare options fairly. They filter first. Some options feel for people like you, trustworthy and familiar. Others are dismissed instantly. Marketing shapes that before logic kicks in. That filtering happens whether you control it or not. Marketing lets you influence it intentionally. Let's take a moment to reflect. Do people usually understand what you do before you explain it? Or only after you talk them through it? Comment before or after below. There is no right or wrong answer here, but noticing it is important. A common response at this point is, our sales team will explain it. Sales can explain, sales can reassure, but sales cannot scale understanding. If you've ever been on a call where the first 10 minutes are just explaining the basics, not objections, just the context, that's marketing work showing up late. If every conversation starts from zero, that's not a sales problem. That is a marketing gap. Sales works best when marketing goes first. Marketing prepares people before the conversation. Sales helps them move forward when they're ready. Different roles, different moments. Another thing people often say is, we don't really do marketing. Most of our work comes from referrals. And that's not wrong, but it's a phase, not a strategy. Referrals work when demand is high, networks are warm, and growth expectations are modest. But referrals are uncontrolled. You don't decide when they happen, how often, or how clearly you're described. Marketing doesn't replace word of mouth, it supports it. It gives referrals clarity, consistency, and reassurance. This is where a lot of frustration lives. You're doing things, posting, updating, trying ideas, and this is where people will say, we're doing loads. It just doesn't feel like it's adding up. And they're right, because activity alone creates motion, not momentum. Motion feels busy, momentum compounds. This usually shows up like this. 1 month you're posting regularly. The next month you stop because nothing obvious happened. Then you tweak the website. Then you try ads. Then you're back on social again. You're doing things, but nothing feels like it's stacking. That's not a motivation issue. It's what happens when activity exists without a system. Busy isn't the same as stable. Marketing is the system that connects message, audience, and action. Without that system, effort will leak, results don't stack, and progress feels fragile. When marketing is unclear or missing, a few patterns always show up. Sales feel inconsistent, and growth relies on personal energy. Wins are hard to repeat and planning feels difficult. You might still get results, but you can't rely on them. Marketing turns momentum into something you can build on. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Marketing isn't an expense, it's an asset. An asset that builds familiarity, reduces friction, and compounds over time. Good marketing means fewer explanations, better fit customers, calmer sales conversations, and that's not hype, that's alignment. And alignment reduces effort everywhere. So, why do you need marketing? Not to shout louder, not to chase trends, not to copy competitors. You need marketing so people understand you faster, trust you sooner, and choose you with confidence. That's the real job. Everything else is just tactics. Once marketing makes sense, everything else stops feeling random. And if you've been wondering how marketing connects to sales and where that line actually sits, my last video explains that clearly too. I'll link it in the description, so if you're serious about leveling up your marketing, make sure you're subscribed for new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I'll see you on the next one.